Yo,
What up? What up?
Woo, we got a special episode coming up today on a Friday night, so anything can happen.
Dude, it's Cinco de Mayo, man.
It's Saturday.
Oh, damn, it is
Bro.
Saturday. Sorry, we missed it.
That's why we not drinking tequila, because it's no longer Damn. Dude.
Oh, shit. What are we on? We on 143 now, right?
Yeah. 143. I think you're right. Yeah. I mean,
No, we are.
Not-
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
we
pretty sure that's the number. Welcome back, everybody, to the Common Footman Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean. And every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. And for episode 143, and it was supposed to be done on Cinco de Mayo, it is now 6 de Mayo. Hit him with the drink of the day.
woo! Listen, man, we got a little thotty drink. This one's great, man. It's a good poolside drink. It's a good just chilling around the house drink. It's delicious, man. So it's called a Mango Madras, Madras, and it's Bacardi Mango Rum. So a shot of that. So fill the highball glass up with ice. Do a shot of the mango rum, and then do half and half orange juice and cranberry juice, and then you juice in a lime wedge, and throw it in there. Garnish with an orange wedge, and good to go, man.
So the name of it is
a Mango Madras, Madras. I don't know why they call it that.
Yeah,
we should change the name.
Is like madras? Is that like a
It
word
is
in
something.
Spanish?
I just don't know what.
You don't know what it is.
I'm like Wish App Spanish, where I know just enough. You know what I'm saying?
I think it sounds like it's a Spanish word.
Yeah, Madras. I should definitely know what it means. And
We do have
it'll
the
come to
internet.
me.
Let's see.
Oh shit, we do, bro. Damn, we acting like the internet ain't celebrating anniversaries and shit this week. We should be paying homage. Look at us struggling. Damn.
This shit says it's English.
Man, oh, that's why I didn't know.
Yeah, that's right. It says a strong, fine textured cotton fabric, typically patterned with colorful stripes or checks,
That sounds Indian.
or a dish of meat, fish, or vegetables in a hot curry sauce.
Okay, that's Indian. I'm like, I've heard that name. All right.
So there you go.
There we go. So, all right, Mango Madras, man. Try it out. It's pretty delicious, man. It's nice. It's refreshing.
Yeah, this is like a dope poolside drink.
Yeah,
right here,
for
man.
sure, man. It's good. And it's definitely not going to feel great in the morning if you drink a lot of them, I think. I don't know. Stay tuned.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
tell you
that-
in a couple days.
It's that sugar, man. The sugar from the rum, and then plus these juices.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll feel like we drank tomorrow.
I feel like we should just change the name to Mango Insulin. Tropical insulin or some shit like that. Oh, man.
All right, man. Let me hit you with my cover from another week.
Oh, let's go.
Mine is going out to Mr. Phil Knight. Those of you
Okay.
who are not familiar with Phil Knight, he is the creator or co-creator of Nike. I mean, he's the man behind the swoosh. But what he did was recently he donated a lot of money to a fund called the 1803 Fund,
Okay.
and it is solely going to be used for rebuilding Albina, Oregon, which is like this historically African American community
Okay.
that just needs help, both financially, culturally, like whatever. Right? He donated $400 million. So you know what I'm saying? Like that is, listen,
Damn.
if obviously the guy has a lot of money, and not for nothing, he probably owes a lot of that money to the black community. So maybe we just consider this reparations.
Yo, Phil Knight handing out reparations in the back of me. You not wrong, bro. Somebody was going to come through, damn it. Might as
Yep.
well be Phil Knight. Holy shit, man! $400 million, and he grew up there, right? That's why he's
He
doing.
grew
it?
up in that area.
That
I don't
area.
know.
That's a neighborhood that he didn't grow up in, but he grew up in. I know in Oregon.
Yeah, I don't know if it was in Albina. I'm not sure, but definitely he's from that area.
Okay.
And so yeah, man. Like I feel like that dude owes I mean, I haven't seen that movie. Have you? The one?
No,
one
I
with
want to see it.
The
It's
new
about
one?
Air. It's the movie's about the Jordan
Yes.
shoe, right? Yeah.
Which, from his book, I remember him saying at that time, before he signed Jordan, Converse was ruling the basketball world.
Yeah.
And signing Jordan put Nike really on the map.
Yeah, like, and obviously I'm like too young to know this, but like, so Nike was always the leader in basketball shoe, right? Like, Jordan was, but yeah, at that time it was Converse and it was crazy because Converse was dominating with a shoe that's not great to play basketball in. Like, I mean, nothing at the time was really
right,
but,
and I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
And probably nothing was better than that. But like the first Nikes that I can remember was Jordans.
the Air Jordans.
And I was already like 10 years old. I want to say it was 84, 83, 84.
Yeah, that
around
makes
there.
sense because that's when he came out his rookie year, right? He got drafted 83, 84.
I think it was around there, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Makes sense.
it was those black and red Jordans that first came out, and it was the first time that I had ever noticed Nike.
Oh, really? So before that, you wouldn't have bought a pair of Nikes, like?
Yeah, like before that, the sneakers that I can remember buying was like the shell top Adidas.
Okay. Oh, that's the Run DMC effect.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, wow.
But then the Jordans came out. I remember we paid $50 for those shell top Adidas, and I remember back then it was
That's
like
a lot.
it was a lot. My mother looked at me like, "What do you mean $50 for sneakers?" Right? Because I remember buying sneakers around that time, and
Yeah,
it was
early 80s. That's a lot, man.
and yeah, and it was maybe like $35 for a pair of sneakers, and then this shit was $50, which was a lot more. And then I remember when Jordans came out, and they were even more expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I remember going like, yeah, I'm not buying those. But then like shortly thereafter, you say like 2-3 years down the road was when like Air Force and like the Court Force came out, so everybody was rocking those, which they weren't as expensive as the Jordans. But anyway, that put them on the map. And I remember growing up in Spanish Harlem, which is all blacks and Hispanics. Maybe not now, but at least when I was growing up, it was. Like Nikes was big in the community, man. And so where you would guess that the least amount of people could afford it, the vast majority of people were buying it.
We're actually buying it, which is, it's interesting, right? Like you said, the communities that could least afford it are sort of like propping up some of these brands.
Right.
Wow, man.
And so it's dope to see the brand come out and go, and it's
When
like
to give back.
right, just give back to a community, and $400 million is a lot of money. So hopefully that goes.
Fuck yeah,
that
man.
goes far in that community.
Dude, that's higher than the GDP of certain countries.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is crazy, man. Good for them. What's the significance? 1803. That's like a running reference, right,
Oh,
or something.
shit. I
There's
don't
a
know.
significance to the 1803 thing, and I think he's an avid runner, so I want to lean towards it. Has something to do with. Is that like a 5K? Is that the perfect, like a good time for a 5K or something? I forget. I thought there was a
Ooh, that's
significance
funny,
to
man.
1803.
Well,
think.
I don't know if that's true or not, but when in the Marines, when you do your physical fitness test, it's 3 areas. It's pull-ups, sit-ups, and a run. And the 3-mile run in 18 minutes gives you your full 100 points.
Oh wow.
So the physical fitness test, you can perfect score is 300 because you did was like 80 sit-ups in 2 minutes, 20 pull-ups, and then the 3-mile run in 18 minutes flat.
That's fucking fast.
Yeah, that's fast, bro. The fastest I ever did was I did 1905.
Yeah, that's even
Yeah,
fast.
I was moving, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's you. You're never jogging. You're like almost
Yeah, when you're
sprinting
going. No, it's not a sprint, but you're moving.
Fuck, man. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. But good for him, man. For him, that's awesome, man. I love to see like, yeah, especially he's never moved from there, which I thought was cool. Like he's always lived in Oregon. I know he has a place in like like Palm Springs and shit like that. But the fact that he still sort of lives there, the fact that Nike's still headquartered there, like. It's and he gives back, and then you can tell, like when the way he speaks about Oregon and all that is also, you can just tell he loves it. I think it was one of the first places. The school was always one of the first places where he was giving like geared to and signing like athletic contracts.
Oh, that's
with
right.
his brand.
Yep.
And then if you look at Oregon now, like we've talked about this on here before, where like one of the reasons I think kids pick that school is because of the swagger, like the swag that they get and from Nike and all that
Yeah.
stuff, man. So it's cool. I mean, I love what that guy's always done. he has, I mean, probably one of my favorite books of all time, dude, is like reading his biography, The Shoe Dog. Oh my God, man. Like, I've been waiting for them to turn that into a movie. I'm actually surprised that they hadn't, and I guess Air is going to be like the next closest thing. But it's really, if you think about the book, Air is like a chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it's not the book, right? It's like a chapter, like, because you realize that Nike's such a big company, man. But like, one of my favorite books of all time. What a guy who's lived a great, also tragic life in some ways, and gives you like just some good perspective, man, I think on all that stuff, man. Like shout out to him, dude.
Yeah, and it's one of those books that shows you that here's this, you know, probably close to billionaire, and you know, he's got the same worries and challenges and
regrets and
all that shit as anybody else, bro.
What stuck with me, I think, from that book, I mean, obviously the way he built the brand and all that's so fascinating, and you know, but what stuck with me more was sort of the, I don't know, his tone and how he speaks about certain things. It's almost like there isn't, I don't want to say that there isn't a pride. There's a pride in almost like built what he's built, but there's also this undertone of at what cost. And that's, and I couldn't help but get that, like, the whole book. But it's such a great book, man. So if you guys never read Shoe Dog, like, couldn't recommend it more.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
so good,
worth
man.
it.
Shout out to Phil Knight, man.
Well, speaking of reading, man, I have after my first book in January, I haven't picked up another book.
No?
Nope.
I don't think I've done one this month. I was on a roll, man.
I'm supposed to be 4 in, and I'm 1 in.
Oh, I think I'm 4 in.
Yeah? So you're good. May just started.
Okay, I think I'm 3 or no. I think I'm 4 because I did 2 1 month, so I think I'm good, man.
Still good, bro.
But I cheated because I did audiobooks. I think for 2
matter,
of them,
bro.
So.
Audiobook is better than no book. All right, man. What you got?
Yeah, dude, I'm just sticking with the books, man. My cover photo this week, man, is gonna go to Dolly Parton. I just found this out. It's a program that's been around since 1995. But Dolly Parton has a program called the Imagination Library, where you can sign up. And it isn't available everywhere, but it is, you know, she does have chapters sort of in the United States and Canada, in Australia, and I think New Zealand's another one. But anyway, all around the world, and they have set up sort of offices and distribution centers in certain cities and all that. But you go to the website, you can sign up if you qualify in the area that you're in. She sends you a book every single month, like an age appropriate, like high quality sort of book from newborn to 5 years old. She just sends you a free book. You don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to pay for the book. You don't have to, like, it just mails you a book. And there's like no cap on how many people can sign up. It's basically like her programs. You know, I think she started funding them, and now she obviously has partners and stuff that she works with.
Do you have to qualify for it?
No, you can just, the qualification is basically like, where are you located?
Oh, okay. So can I ship to you at a relatively low cost?
She doesn't care what you make or don't make or whatever.
Okay.
Her whole thing is she wants to make sure that kids of all ages have access to books and they can read. And then and the cutoff being 5 is because presumably then you're in school and you have the school libraries that are usually free and all that stuff. So it's like, I'm gonna get you to then, and so your parents can read to you. You can read. You can like, and her ideas is like, I never want kids to not have access to books. And what I thought was really cool, what I didn't notice about her, was that her dad, she said her dad never learned how to read or write. He was illiterate. And she was like, it's almost like a nod to him of like, she didn't want anybody to sort of go through the experiences in life. She said that I saw how hard that was on him, and I never wanted anybody to have that experience. And something so basic that I felt like all kids should have is access to a book, you know. And so if they're 2-3 months old and it's you just reading them a book about shapes or whatever, it's like, that's it shapes, it molds it, you know, they should have access to that. So yeah, man, I stumbled on this story recently, man, and I thought that was dope. I'm like, oh, that's so cool, man. I never heard of it, never seen her, like, you know, it was.
So what's it called?
It's called Imagination Library, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library.
Is there a website?
Yep, it's imaginationlibrary.com, and you can go on there and you can put your zip code in. It'll tell you if it's available in your area, and then it'll tell you how you can start the program, and you just go on there, sign up, and you will go. And then it even has a whole excerpt on how they choose the books that they have, you know, about them, how they're trying to expand. You know, obviously, again, we talked about they're in the United States, but they expanded internationally as well.
Yeah,
so, yeah, man, I thought that was cool, because how impactful is that, man? Like, reading, and how, you know, like, how many things have you read and all that have, like, stuck with you your whole life, but also just, like, you know, it's talking about her dad just on an education level thing, on a, you know, like,
I think just on a life level in general, man. Like, dude, could you imagine or if you've ever been to another country and you go into an airport and you see the signs in the other language and you're stuck, dude, there is an uncomfortable feeling
Oh yeah.
of what the fuck do I do? Now, so could you imagine being illiterate in your own country? So you can speak the language and maybe you can talk to people, and that it's kind of how you get by. But could you imagine? It's got to be the same feeling of being
foreign to you
in an airport, right? It's just like being in a place where you have to read signs and you can't read them.
That's crazy, man. And I think again, it's something so basic for a lot of us that we take for granted. So it was just
very much so.
That because we went to school and we did but and obviously she's talking about where I think she grew up in Tennessee, sort of like in the east side in the hills. She calls it like the hills in Tennessee, but obviously their access to stuff wasn't as great either. Because you're talking about this is 50s, 60s, and if it's her dad, you're talking 20s. So yeah, it's just, and I'd imagine there's parts like
because she's got to be
Dolly Parton's got to be I was gonna
right.
say
I mean, she's got to be got to be either in her 70s or 80.
Yeah, dude.
Because she was an adult when I was a kid.
Yeah, like she was an adult.
She was like 6. She could have been my mom when I was. You know what I mean? Like that.
Let me see, Dolly Parton, her age here, because you're not wrong, man. She's got to be 77, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
So it's like, she's older than my mom.
That's crazy, man. Yo, it still looks good for that age, man. 77. She still looks great for that age. But I thought that was cool, man.
That's awesome,
super
man.
impactful. Yeah, it's super cool, man. Super. And I just thought about like people who don't have access to that kind of stuff, who can just go on there and sign up and get it. I'm like, man, that's neat, man. I've met. It's funny. I've seen neighborhoods. There's a lot of cool things. There's in this neighborhood, there's a couple of families that do it. I've seen it like here in downtown and spread across. There's people who will put these like almost birdhouse type things on their front lawn. I don't know if you've seen this, and they'll fill it up with books, and there'll be a sign that says "Leave one, take one." And it's cool because I've seen like
I've only seen that in the movies,
dude. You can go walk down like 4 houses
Really?
from here and see one, and then at the end of the block see another one. And it's cool, and it's almost like the community's way of sharing their books. And what they do is they're like, oh, just take one, leave one, you never have to bring it back. But
Right.
it's like an exchange almost of
Right.
books and stuff like that. I always thought it was cool. Like I've donated like books to that, like the like the kids' old books and
Yeah.
that. And it was just like, even at that time, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like somebody else will get use out of this sort of thing. But like, beyond that, it's like somebody might need this and they couldn't get it, any other way. So, I just saw that, man. And for some reason I was like, man, that's pretty damn cool, man. That's pretty special.
dude. That shit got me, and I'm gonna go off on a fucking tangent here, but just thinking about like not being able to read, and just thinking about sort of language in general, and like language is just sounds. Like when we talk to each other, right? It's just sounds that we interpret in certain ways.
It's coherent grunts.
Dude, and not for nothing, when I had when my wife and I had our twins, when they began to talk, they to talk to each other in a language that we couldn't understand. Would literally sit there like us, and it was pretty astonishing because as they got older, when most kids would start to say some words, and they knew some words, but they could talk like in like this fluent language to each other
that you guys didn't even,
that we don't understand.
and they knew exactly what they were saying.
Oh my God, bro! It was like to sit back, and one of them would be go like, and the other one would, and then they would like start and be like, bah, and then you watch them in unison turn to a direction and walk off.
Like some minions.
It's yes, very much so, man.
Papoy. Wow.
Yeah.
Just be fucking running off.
But I remember us going to the doctor and my wife being concerned that they were, because they had like cousins that were similar ages, and they were like talking.
Who were like, already talking.
Right, and so she was concerned when we go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, "Yo, they can communicate. They're gonna be fine. They can communicate. They don't need to communicate with you because they have each other."
I wonder, does that developmentally help them or hurt them because they have this other thing? Is it helpful?
But they don't know it anymore. So by the way, right?
So
they
then,
end up losing
they
it.
end up no, but then like, is it harmful because it not deters them, but it slows down them picking up everybody else's thing, or is it helpful because for them, they got to communicate, so who cares? Either way, they're getting something and learning something or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Or does it developmentally, does it delay them because they have each other almost? Like, does that actually work to their disadvantage because they can sort of just, we can just talk to each other like, fuck these people. Like, we don't need to learn this. These motherfuckers just making noises.
No one did that way in school.
Yeah. You notice how there's only one of them all the time? Because we're the superior species. Oh, shit, man.
Oh, man. Dude, speaking of crazy-ass noises, that's what you used to hear on them Jerry Springer shows. Jerry. And then we going to do it,
Shout out to the king, damn it.
Damn it. That's right, man. Jerry Springer passed away this past week. And, God bless that guy, man. You talk about somebody has made an impact. I don't care if you think it's negative. Everybody knows who Jerry Springer is because of that freaking show.
And everybody will immediately start saying, Jerry,
yep.
Jerry. The minute you hear that shit, yeah, there's no one who's younger than 50 who doesn't know who, I would say fucking 60, probably, who didn't have some kind of Jerry Springer in their life at some point in time, bro.
Even if it was you passing through and then, stopping momentarily because you see some toothless chick like fighting with somebody else, right?
Dude, and that was always you remember that became like almost an insult or like a description of people. I don't know, some Jerry Springer looking ass, like, hillbilly or whatever. Like, dude, they had a type.
He got the best people on there,
so
bro.
Good. So good. Bro, I'm telling you, man, this is why millennials, we're the last of like the well-balanced, like cultured, like breed, because, bro, staying home from school in the 90s slapped. You had Jerry Springer and then followed by The Price is Right, which couldn't be any further. And we was equally as fucking
Bob Barker was
invested.
a bad bitch.
Bob Barker was that bad bitch, bro. Damn it. This shit was so good. And I'm like, literally be watching Jerry Springer, and then you could just go to the fucking Price is Right for a couple hours at 11 a.m. And boy, I knew the price of a washing machine at that point in time. I'm like, $287. Oh, fuck, $400. You went too high. Be yelling at the TV and shit. Bro, we were so well balanced. From novelas to fucking, oh man, what a time, bro.
Dude, but Jerry used to be like, wasn't he like, and he was in politics?
Dude, he was a mayor.
He was a lawyer, wasn't
he? I think he was an attorney.
I think he was an attorney.
Didn't he go to an Ivy League school? I think he went to Brown or some shit, man. Let me not say that. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought Jerry, but he started in politics. You're right. And I think he ran for like city council or a councilman or something like that, and then wound up being asked to be the mayor of Cincinnati. So not a dumb guy, man. Let me see, Jerry Springer. He was born in London during World War II to refugees escaping the Holocaust. Yeah, and then he was raised in Queens.
World War II. Oh, yeah, 1940s.
It makes sense. It makes sense, man. And wow. Dude, talk about...
Bro, did you just yawn?
I did, man. Dude, he went to Northwestern.
Sorry, man. I know it's tomorrow.
And then Tulane. I said, dude, I've been up since yesterday. My body weary, bro. I'm getting old. I'm getting older. Yo,
hold on. But what did he pass from?
Pancreatic cancer, man. Which is
cancer.
Yeah, cancer, just diagnosed. But, pancreatic is that, like, death sentence one, man. Like, pancreatic cancer. Because it's, man...
man, aren't they all?
Yeah, but I think the pancreatic cancer has almost... it's demoralizing. The survival rate for pancreatic cancer is, like, less than 10% overall, less than 4%.
And he was, what, 77?
He was 77.
Yeah, dude. And that's... I would imagine... Again, I don't know what kind of... I guess I would imagine... It would matter what kind of shape you kept yourself in. But I don't know, man. That 77 feels on the older side.
Yeah, what's 1944 to... Yeah, 1944 to... He's 79. So, yeah, that's still... Yeah,
it's still, like man, you're pushing 80, right? Like,
yeah, like you lived.
Yeah, like nobody's going. Oh,
It's not tragic.
Right, it's not tragic.
It's sad, but not tragic. Yeah. No, you're right. But fucking man, I'm gonna miss that shit, bro. The chance, Jerry. And I remember Steve, and Steve got his own show.
Well, he kind of took over, didn't he?
Yeah, but then they named it the Steve Wilco Show or whatever, and then
yeah.
it's like, yeah, they tried to do the spinoff. It wasn't the same, bro.
Well, you
It
can't
just
do
didn't hit
you
same.
can't do the Jerry Springer Show without Jerry Springer.
Nah,
so.
bro, that shit was wild, man. You would have motherfuckers in there. There'd be like the ugliest, toothless chick, and she got like, and there would be like one baby, and it'd be 7 motherfuckers taking paternity tests on that shit. It was so wild, man.
Dude, I saw like Maury Povich the other day. That's all he does now.
Oh, the whole you are not, or you are the.
That's
really?
it. That's the whole show, bro.
Oh man.
That is the whole. But I think that they just got onto something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And they just ran with it because it wasn't always like that. Like he used to be like a range of shit, and now it's like that's all it is. It's just a gang of paternity tests.
Yo, was he the OG like reality TV show?
Who, Maury?
Nah, Jerry Springer.
Nah, dude.
Yeah,
we got
Real
like
World?
we got like Downey.
Oh, that's
Remember
true.
fucking Sally Jesse Raphael,
Yo, she was wild. Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake after that. But I
Nah,
wanna
but
say,
they wasn't really doing like.
they wasn't doing like extra trash.
That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah,
trashy,
the trash.
like,
Oh no, he's like the king of that.
Cause Dr. Phil was around, but yo, there was homie that was trying to do that was trying to be similar to Jerry. What was his name? It was like there was Maury sort of tried to copy the style a little bit.
Oh no,
later
you
on.
know who's the king or who's the godfather of trash freaking talk show? Robert Downey. Like
Really?
Robert Downey Jr.'s dad.
Yeah?
Yeah. That dude,
I don't think I remember seeing
he had the Robert Downey show or some shit.
and it was just
And it was
trashy
like
shit.
it was like trashy. I mean,
never
it wasn't.
heard
It
of
wasn't.
that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
You got to look that up, bro.
I gotta look this up, man. Now I
I think that dude. I guess for what I know, maybe there's somebody older than me that would say, no, he ain't the daddy. There's somebody else, fucking, back in the '70s.
Let me see, man. Downey. So the Robert Downey is senior. No, he was a filmmaker. Robert Downey show.
Like he would smoke on his show,
The
and
Morton Downey Jr.
he would
show?
talk. He would talk trash to his guests.
Robert Downey.
Was it Morton?
Show.
No, not Morton. It was.
There was
it
a Morton Downey Jr. show, but I think that's him. I think it's the same guy.
Maybe
Talk
that's
show
the one.
who pioneered the trash TV format. No,
That's
you're
it,
right.
bro. See,
Morton Downey.
Morton
Jr.
Downey. Oh, I'm wrong. Sorry.
Morton Downey Jr. What happened to Morton Downey? Change substantially going from one. Yeah, fucking Morton Downey. Until his death from lung cancer and pneumonia.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Fuck, man. That's hilarious. Yeah, he says.
Sorry, man. I just
Trash
said.
TV.
I just said.
Yeah, you
that's
just gave Robert Downey Jr. a whole dad. Does he know his father? Maybe he's grateful.
I knew that. I knew I felt different.
Like, I knew it. Oh man,
I can relate.
You could have certainly used Maury.
You are not the father.
I wonder if you would have got. You ever see people like that and they celebrate like they just won the Super Bowl? Oh my god, bro! How shitty are you? Do you feel if you're the person on the other side of that?
Dude,
bro?
I love it when they be like,
Oh.
Bonquisha is back for her 5th time.
She thinks she really know this time. She's got a good hunch about
And
this.
then it's the same shit. They fucking put the dad in the baby's face and they be like, look at him. He look just like him.
Just and then when they be like, you are not, that's wrong.
Dude, the ones that come like 4 or 5 times, and they be running out when they go, you are not the father. And they come running out.
Thank you.
And then Maury got to go back there and fucking comfort them and shit.
Comfort them. He's like, no, but seriously, we got another person that needs to come. we gotta keep the segment.
We gotta
moving.
keep this going.
I get paid by the segment. You're gonna have to
He'd be like, listen, go find number 7. Bring him in. We're gonna test his ass.
go
too.
get knocked up.
No, we gotta find the daddy, man. Just bring somebody else.
Yo, that's kind of fucking crazy, bro. They have parades of dudes running through there, all talk about no.
Yeah, I can't believe I said
and then they be like,
Robert
I told
Downey.
you, bitch. And then he said Robert Downey.
I can't believe
How
it.
you get Iron Man?
I gave Iron Man a whole new dad.
Whole new identity, bro. Not only you gave his dad, you gave his dad a job. You got a whole nine, bro.
How they both juniors?
That's so true. Oh fuck! What would have been fitting for Maury's show or Jerry Springer? Yo. Oh shit, man.
No, but that dude, that dude had a hell of a life, man, bro. This week, I had listened to Joe Rogan. I was on a not too old of an episode, a recent episode with Joey Diaz, the comedian.
I love Joey Diaz, man.
Yeah,
Actually, that's the next book I'm gonna start. Is his?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I thought Joey Diaz was Italian, like an Italian New Yorker.
Oh no, I think he's Cuban.
He's
right?
Cuban.
Yeah.
But the way that he
talks like an you right,
he
and
talks
they
like a
put
New
him in all
York-
those movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought he was Italian. So,
He's from New Jersey, man. He's a
Is
Jersey
it?
guy. Yeah, he's a
Okay.
Jersey guy.
but he was saying in an interview, I heard him say that he grew up in Manhattan. I thought.
Oh, you could be right. Maybe he's in Jersey now. He might live in New Jersey now, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, on there, he goes, and I'm gonna paraphrase, but he's like, "Yo, my life was worth every penny."
His life was worth every penny.
Yeah. So it's like basically just saying that he's so happy with how his life went, and he feels like he squeezed everything out.
Dude, and have you ever heard that guy's story, man?
Oh, he's got a crazy story.
And I can't wait to get into the book because I feel like I've only know like a little bit of it.
Yeah. Also do I.
But just knowing, dude, he had like drug addict parents, or mom, like abuse, like all kinds of shit. Like, so just to hear someone like him have that perspective.
Yeah, because he said, he goes, I've been through a lot of fucked up shit, but I wouldn't change any of it.
No, it probably made him who he is.
Right.
Like, you know, the whole comedy scene has a thing. Is like, did you have a good childhood or are you funny? Like, you know, it's like, so, you know, he wouldn't be him if he didn't have those experiences, man. Like, and he's funny, bro. Like, he's like shake the room, you know, like blow the top off. Like, and I know he doesn't have,
I don't think
like,
I've seen his
specials.
stand-up.
Oh, you got to me. You can go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know that he has like a special that you can air right now. I'm sure there's gonna be one dropping soon. But like, dude, you go down that rabbit hole on YouTube, you're seeing him. He is like, I mean, your sides will hurt, like, because he's so larger than life. Like, his personality is so like he dominates the room, and you say he has that like that New York, you know, really like just that demeanor that they all talk with, where it's loud in every story, and it could be like the most basic story, and they make it sound just so grandiose, and
Yep.
he just has one of those personalities.
Very
And
much
he's
so.
fucking funny, man. He's so funny, dude. He's so good. And he did a lot of drugs in his days, bro. So watching him sometimes when he was just hopped up on shit was
Yeah.
wild back in the day.
I would imagine, man, when you have like guys, and he hears a lot from guys that either drank a lot or did a lot of drugs at some point, and then have sort of come to the other side and you know, survived. And they all talk with like almost like this gratefulness of like, or like an acknowledgement of like, those were really wild times, and I'm so happy that I got through it. And I'm not that way anymore, but holy shit, that was a hell of a ride.
Well, I think the experience gives you stories and life experience in general, and then to make it on the other side, because I'm sure in that there's so many times where you're like, oh, this is it, and
Right.
then to make it through that, I think has to be like you said, there just has to be an unbelievable amount of gratefulness for a lot of people, you know, that get through something like that. And
Yeah.
you can tell him and the way he talks, like that he's just like grateful for where he's at now. Because dude, if you go back and listen to him on Rogan like years ago versus listening to him now, it's a completely different guy.
Really?
Like, in terms of like he's him. I mean, but the shit that he talks about or shit that he wants to do, you're just like, you know, like that guy picks up like he's into martial arts and all that shit.
Yeah, he
now,
does
and
jujitsu.
He does jujitsu, and he's got like a young son, and he does a bunch of stuff with his kid. Like he's got like
okay.
a young son or daughter, but he's got like a really young kid. And he does a lot of shit with them, and you hear him talking about all the stuff that you wouldn't expect him to be doing. And, Joe, we were baking cookies the other day. And, he's just, we were making stuff. And he just goes down his whole things, and you're just like, fuck, you didn't expect that from him. And you wouldn't have, like, years ago hearing him on that podcast. On that podcast all the time, oh my God, he was just like, was doing lines off this pitcher's bass crack. And that was all he would, and you're just like, to see that change, man, it's so cool, man. But yeah, that guy's, his perspective is, if
it just got me thinking, like, it's one of those things where you go like, damn, you look at, sort of like self-reflect and go, can I say that, right? If I die tomorrow, can I say, yo, I squeezed everything out? And then of course, like for me, I go like, no, like I haven't squeezed everything out. But then what kind of life would you have to lead to be able to say that? Would it have to be where you're living on the edge like that? Or is it, hey, like I've had a successful career, I'm a successful sort of like dad, provider, husband, what have you, and like, is that enough?
I think it's, man, I don't know.
I'm sure it's different for everybody.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know.
But I wonder, right? Because you go, if somebody who doesn't have the life that, say, like you have, is somebody looking at that and going, fuck, I wish I would have done that, because that appears to be the right way.
Do you think that comes from a man, I find that, and maybe this is a little cliche, but like it comes from not having the regret of what if. Like I feel like people who've gone through that never wonder, what would my life have been like if I didn't do drugs, right? Because their positive now is I don't think they can see their life as my life would have been great if I'd never done drugs. I think all they can see is I did drugs. I could have stayed that way. Right. And so they're not regretful. I feel like when you talk to people, most people regret things they didn't do and things that they didn't try. And so I think it's not like when you're saying like, hey, are you happy with your life is now? I feel like most of us could go to, no, I wish I would do X, or no. If the answer is no, you're going to go, because I really want to be doing this, or I really want to give this a try. Like I feel like it comes more from a place of regrets. But I wonder, some people who are obviously people who are that deep into drugs, like don't say no to a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Or don't. And so they probably have these wild experiences and then go, fuck, man, I got through that. But I came through it. And so I don't regret doing it because shit, it was fun at the time, you know? And then so it's almost like, will someone have a regret later of not doing something that would have been wild? Like, maybe I was at whatever. I wish I would have taken that trip with the boys to wherever, or whatever that is for someone. I feel like it's life. I feel like when you reflect on it back, it's going to be more of the shit that you didn't do versus like the things that you did do. I feel like that's where I feel like I'll. So then,
are you always in the like I missed out?
Not in the sense of like, I don't think you're always in the missed out in the sense of like, oh, I didn't get to do all this XYZ because I couldn't. I think it's more of the stuff that you didn't do because you kept yourself from doing them, like out of fear, out of comfort, out of whatever, right? Like it's not like the, hey, I couldn't afford to fly first class to Dubai. I think it's the, hey, I wish I would have taken that, I don't know, whatever certification and gone to be a fucking piano tuner, or like shit like that. I feel like where you go like attainable shit, or I wish I would have started that podcast, or I wish I would have asked that person out, or I wish I think the regret comes from like these things that you sort of cowered it out at, not things that were unattainable, but I think the attainable things that you sort of cowered away from, I think is where we'll find regret later on.
Yeah, man. And I also wonder, like, if you go sort of like that family route, like, I wonder at what point do you look back? Like, do you look back at, or do you look back at your life after you see, 20 grandchildren, hovering around you, and you're going like, yo, like, this is my legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at different stages of your life, do those different things then go, man, like, I gave up some of this other stuff, but like, look at what I created.
Yeah. Dude, I think, we've talked about that even doing this pod of like the sort of like almost a documentary we have going here without even trying, that our sort of kids and grandkids and great-grandkids are going to be able to go back to and listen to one day. Yep. Like almost, if this never amounts to anything, it's that, right? Like you have this sort of.
Like that is the gem.
Right. That's the gem, right? It's like the autobiography that we're leaving behind in audible format, you know, like this
Right.
audio format. Like, it's funny, man. Casey Neistat, the YouTuber, like, considered like one of the sort of godfathers of how we create YouTube content and all that stuff now. But he was on a podcast recently talking about this, and he was saying that for him, he had been thinking a lot about this, and he was saying, I have this thing that no one else has, which is he vlogs a lot. So all his videos became vlogs of him pointing a camera to himself and just talking about shit. He goes, I have my entire life recorded for like the last 30 years.
That's crazy.
And
bro.
he goes, and I'm leaving that to my future kids, right? And some of it is going to be, the guy asked him, like, are you proud of it or whatever? He's like, nah, it's not even about that.
It's not about
like,
pride.
It's literally like, that's my life. Like, that's me every day. And he goes like, and it's different. It's like, you ever go through and it's beautiful because it's so true, man. I've done this where you go through the photos on your phone and you can just almost instantly go back to that time. And you can like smell the smells and feel the air and, like that whole thing. Like, he goes like, I have that for my whole life because I put a camera on myself every single day. He goes like, and then now in these like last 10 years or so, I have that in the highest quality format ever because I have a film crew following me around all the time to record these vlogs and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So he goes, so I have these high quality cuts of my life that, they can just sit back and watch one day. He goes like, I think there's going to be value in that. Sometimes I'm just grabbing a fucking smoothie. And he's like, but there's going to be this value in my grandkids being able to see like, oh, there goes Grandpa, he's grabbing a smoothie. And the shit that I laughed at or the shit that I, talked about or the whatever, he's like the vulnerability that I did or didn't show or whatever. He's just like, that is what I'm leaving behind. He's like, more than any success I could ever have. And I'm like, huh. It's so true because we've talked about that a lot about like, worst case scenario, our kids can go back and be like, you want to hear how dumb my dads were?
Right.
And it'd be like,
yeah, like, and what was happening, in this, we're in year what?
23.
Are we in year 3 now?
And sorry, I thought you meant like actually,
Right, we're
this is
like,
year 3.
We're almost completing. Oh no,
we're right there.
This is right.
I think this might be the 3-year mark. This one.
Yeah, I think so. It's
this week.
It's in May, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, we launched in May. So
happy 3-year anniversary,
3-year, man. Look at us. I ain't even get you nothing. Hold on.
Wait, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back. And when I come back, you better have my shit.
Okay. Let me run to the car real quick. It's in the back. Oh shit, man, dude. But when you do end up going or kicking the bucket, there's a lot of, I think, cool things that you can do or not do or your family can do for you. There was a story that sort of had the internet enraged this week because this guy's dad was dying. And so he hired him a stripper to make him laugh. And so there's a stripper by his bedside in the hospital. And the picture's like literally this chick's in her lingerie.
Guy's dying.
The guy's dying and his son hires a stripper to go to this bedside at the hospital and strip for him. And he's like, it was kind of like a prank thing. Like I thought it would make him laugh. He's like, his post says, I miss you, Dad. I think about every day looking back, getting a stripper to come to your bedside to your final days was probably a mistake, but I was just trying to make you laugh, maybe make your dick move one last time. But the internet, and Liz, for all we know, they got us with this post. But of course, you see all the comments of people like, "Oh, this is in poor taste," or "This is
shut
thing,"
the fuck up.
Or some people are like, "Oh, this is awesome." The dad, I mean, he looks like he's dying, so you can't really tell what his expression is. I mean, he's looking at her. He's definitely not looking away.
Okay.
But it just made me think of like seeing the outrage of the shit by this. It's like, man, that relationship between them two, clearly the son, because the son has a selfie and he's laughing and the stripper's in the background like this is that. And I'm like, but that tells you a lot about the relationship probably that they had, or
absolutely.
And just the like, bro.
And wouldn't it be dope if the dad goes, yo, on my deathbed, I just want to see a stripper.
I just want to see, and he goes like, I got you, and then who knows,
and he does it.
Yeah. And what's that conversation like after she leaves and the dad's like, and there's just father son there, and they're probably just fucking laughing, going like, it still works, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it didn't get all the way up, but it jumped about 3 times.
Yeah. I had a little twinkle. But it was just so funny because I'm just like, man, we want to be in such control of how other people like grieve or live their life or like, send people off or whatever, like, and it's like, it's just, there isn't a one size fits all, man. Like this, I saw that shit and I'm like, it wasn't even so much about the stripper. It was just like the father son moment of like, man, he's this guy's final moments, and then he's just trying to make them laugh. It's like you could have been like, I don't know, man. Do you want people just sitting around your bedside all sad, crying, just staring at you like thing? Or do you want them to keep treating you the way they would have treated you when they were there, or playing pranks, or doing whatever? I'm like,
yeah, I mean, definitely that, right? But you hope that you're in a mindset that you can enjoy that, right?
Yeah.
But if you're sitting there like a vegetable, because I've had some family members that didn't live near me, and then when I got to them because they were dying, they were already too far gone that I couldn't really.
Yeah, and that's different. If they're like unconscious, or just like,
or at least it seemed that way.
Or they're so heavily sedated or medicated,
correct,
to ease pain or whatever. Yeah, like that's a little different. I feel like.
But if you have time and you can have that interaction, dude, like it's priceless.
Yeah, dude.
I did one time, man. I was sitting across the table, just like we are right now, with my dad, and I picked up the phone, like I'm gonna put this down. So I had the phone like this, and I went like this, and I just held it up, and I started recording, and he and I are just talking about nothing, nothing and everything.
Okay,
it's one of those
conversations. Okay,
right. And I remember when I first held it up, he kind of looks down, but he never really says anything. And I literally hold it like this for, I don't know, like 20 minutes and just record our conversation. And I'm not even sure why I did it. Dude, I go and I listen back to it just like occasionally. Before he passed, probably about maybe like a year before he passed, I came over and he never knew that I did it.
Oh, he didn't realize what you were doing.
Yeah, and I put it on a laptop and I put headphones on him and I let him listen to us talk. So it's the video of him, but you can hear us both.
Right.
And you can hear shit that's going on in the background, hear shit on TV. But just to hear him, and it was after he couldn't speak anymore.
So he's listening to himself talk.
Yes.
And
so that was a cool moment. And again, when I recorded it, I think the only thing that I was thinking was, fuck, man, I never like, it's the conversations that you have with people that you love that you just remember bits and pieces, right? Who the hell records conversations?
Yeah, man.
We do here, right? But how many do we have that are not recorded?
Yeah, it's not normal in your day-to-day life.
Correct.
Yeah. And the ones that we don't have, man, recorded are
the fucking gems.
Yeah. Fuck. You're so right. Gems, or we'd be on Maury and Jerry Springer.
Yeah, that's right. Or fired,
fired. Disowned by everybody we know. Oh shit! Like, wait, you think what?
Yep. But yeah, man, that was an awesome piece.
So cool
that I was able to let him, and it was funny, man, because I kind of watched him watch it and listen.
And then that's so cool, man. And his reaction
was, oh my God, he was just like, like, that was amazing type shit, right? But he couldn't say it.
That's so cool, man. That's so dope.
How we doing on time, bro? I know we probably getting.
We're 48 minutes in, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it short today.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some good ones, bro. But just one more thing on strippers, just because I saw this story and I'm like, what is it with fucking strippers and death this week? China is cutting down on funeral strippers, which I didn't even know that this needed to be cut.
Whoa, wait a minute.
This needed to be cut down.
They have funeral strippers.
I learned a few things this week about
in China.
In China, mainly in Taiwan. I guess it's very traditional.
I mean, communist company. I said communist company. The communist country?
Yeah, bro.
So Taiwan doesn't believe that they're part of China.
No.
Right?
Yeah, I think they're the ones who are Taiwan. Yeah, they're independent.
They're independent.
Yeah.
But China thinks that they own them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's odd.
It's an abusive breakup.
So were they part of them?
I think many
moons
years ago or whatever, and then now I think I think a contract expired somewhere, and now they're like,
well, goddamn it,
I don't know what? About that,
now
bro.
I'm officially know that every toy that I owned as a kid was made by Chinese.
Yeah.
Because all of them said made in China or made in Taiwan.
Made in Taiwan. So, man, we get that. That should be getting people in trouble all the time now. The whole mixing of the two. Have you seen that?
If you're over there though, right? Like that's kind of the way.
Yeah, but not even. You remember when John Cena apologized a couple years ago because he said something about Taiwan being good or acknowledging. I think you're not even allowed to acknowledge it as Taiwan or what. Some shit, bro. But
really?
He got all apologetic because obviously he's got to sell movie tickets in China and stuff. So it was like so strange.
That's a big market, man.
Yeah, I get it.
A really big market.
Yeah, like it's easy for me to sit here and say, like,
and you know what's funny,
he's
man?
being a real bitch, but I also didn't have a movie coming out in China.
It's all about money, bro.
No, it absolutely is. We don't give a fuck about feelings. It's
No.
like literally, yeah. We didn't care about how they felt. We're like, all right, it's fine. Dude, we know. We don't give a fuck because China's been imprisoning fucking the Uyghurs for years now.
What the hell are Uyghurs?
The Uyghurs, they're like Chinese Muslims, I think is the best way to.
Oh, really? So it's just Chinese people with a different religion?
Yes, it's Chinese people with a different religion. China's not very religious at all.
I was gonna say, what is their predominant?
They're very.
I thought they were like, are they not like Buddhists?
I'm sure there's like a predominant religion,
but
they're not very religious, which is interesting, right? Because you think of China, you think of this old tradition, and you think of, but they're not. There's not a lot of Christianity. I think when you think of like Buddhists, is it
Hindu? Is it Hinduism? What is
no,
that?
Hinduism is like India. So China, I think you do have some Buddha, but that's mostly in the it's a place next door, man, like Mongolia, and was the Dalai Lama? Where's he from?
Tibet.
Tibet. There you go.
Is that right?
But I get no, it's Tibet. Yeah, you're right. I think that's a little more Buddhist. China is very like almost like not atheist, but. Yeah, religion's not big in China. Old tradition is big in China.
That's what it says. It says practice, or 80% of them practice some kind of Chinese folk religion.
Yeah.
13 to 16% are Buddhists. 10% are Taoists.
Okay.
And then 2.5% are Christians, and only less than 1% are Muslims.
Yeah. And
so 80% practice some kind of Chinese folk religion.
Yeah. So it's they're not a very we got traditional religion or whatever. Right. But yeah. Anyway, so the funerals, they're cutting down on this funeral stripper thing, which I didn't realize was a problem because I didn't realize it was a thing, and evidently there's a thing called the funeral stripper. Okay. And I was looking into why, but it's literally like what it is. You hire a stripper to perform at a funeral, but the reason they do it is to attract attendance. So that more people, because they believe the more people showed up to your funeral, it sort of sends you out, I guess on a higher note, and then it shows.
Wow, so they got to bring entertainment.
So they bring entertainment, and the strippers entertainment. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious.
Now I'm assuming, maybe it's a bad assumption, but I'm assuming because I believe they will be more traditional over there, that it's all women.
The stripper?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not letting like
you bring in
the Thunder from Down Under ain't going. It's not allowed to perform. Ain't no Chippendales in that bit. Nope. They're definitely not. Bro, first off, how much fun could you have with this shit, bro? Like funeral strippers, man. Oh my god. I just started thinking just like, I'm like, yo, there's just so many angles here. Like you could go, do you only hire strippers that are like the type of the person that died, like whatever their like preferred type of woman was?
Yep.
Do you hire a stripper that resembles like someone in the family that everybody hated? Or
dude, no, I would imagine that you just hire like the best looking strippers that you can get because you want to draw the crowd.
Yeah. But then I feel like I just couldn't let that shit go like that. If I knew it was gonna happen at my funeral, I don't have to fuck with people. I feel like I'd have to hire somebody that would just like piss people off. It'd be like just my last ode to just like.
Wasn't there a fucking some country where they rode around with like the casket on the back of a motorcycle or the fucking dead body on the back of a motorcycle?
Oh,
Didn't I see that shit?
Listen, fuck, it was Puerto Ricans too, man.
It was definitely a Hispanic country.
Oh yeah, bro. We do all kinds of weird shit, bro. You ever been to a wake in the living room?
No.
Fucking go to Puerto Rico, dog. That shit. They
put the body.
They put the body in the living room, bro.
Yeah.
Dead ass. Yep. In the living room.
Is there like a shortage of funeral homes?
No, it's just like very.
Oh, it's just expensive?
Common. No, it's just common. Like
Really?
you could. They have funeral homes, and you could have a wake. And I have been to a wake in Puerto Rico at a funeral home.
Yeah.
But I've also seen it in people's houses, and the body sleeps there overnight. So you meet everybody in the house sleeping with the body in there, and then the next day they come and pick it up, and they make their way to the cemetery or whatever to bury it.
To be honest, man, I'm thinking about it. I don't know if that would bother me.
I think it's weird.
Well, it's not what we're used to.
You may get up in the middle of the night, bro. You gotta go pee or get a glass of water.
But you just need the coffee. I'm sorry, the coffin in the living room.
Yeah, Uncle Bert
so what?
sitting in a fucking coffin next to you.
Nah,
What if it's open?
Uncle Bert is gonna be at his own damn wife's house. It ain't gonna be in mine. That's what I'm saying. So like, it's gonna just be like.
What if you sleeping over? Because you came from out of town. You're like New Jersey
You
or
better
something.
get a hotel. You better get a hotel. Yeah,
wild, bro.
that I could see being strange, but like if it was, like if it's, I don't know, if this guy died, it was an untimely death, and he's at his mom's house, and his mom gets up and sees the coffin, like, I don't think she's weirded out.
Yeah.
Now, if she come out and the coffin is open and he gone.
Yeah, listen, yo, how dope of a prank would that shit be, bro? I'll just take that shit, fuck.
No, you fucking do it, and then you just leave, like disappear,
and just go. Oh man,
they say like if you got like if you feel like overwhelmed and whatever, it's like disappear for 6 months, do like intense work on yourself, and like 99% of your problems will go away.
Okay,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's say you have like responsibilities and shit, and you do that, they fake your death, and then but you just leave.
You leave for 6 months.
Leave 6 months to a year, or forever.
Forever.
Or just fucking leave forever.
Don't you just accumulate a new set of problems somewhere else?
Not if you move to Alaska.
Ain't nobody there.
Exactly.
To befriend.
It's just you and the moose.
Why is that shit illegal? I never understood that. I can't fake my own death. It's kind of weird.
I mean, I would imagine it would be illegal if
or whatever. Like
not only that, but what if you don't have death benefits? Mm-hmm. You don't have any debts,
mm-hmm.
and you fake your death just to
get away.
Just to get away. Who's affected by that?
Yeah, a bunch of whiny people in your family.
Yeah, but like that's it. And I'm just saying, instant, like to go to be for it to be illegal and for you to potentially go to jail.
Yeah, I don't ever understood
like
that.
Who's
Nah, bro, it's just because
who's pressing charges?
Because you're not paying taxes. They're gonna be like, now, are you paying taxes in the afterlife? Then you're good.
Maybe that's it, bro.
You're hiding out.
Because you'd have to, right? You'd have to go. Nah, but dude, even if you took like an alias and somewhere, but you work somewhere and you're paying taxes.
Yeah, because the government doesn't give a fuck about us as people, like, for
no,
sure.
Definitely
so like, you go
as long as the machine keeps running.
No, yeah, you just need the machine to keep running. You need to create, and then you need to make sure it stays running. So you got to keep adding cogs. Like, I don't understand that shit. Why can't you? I understand your family being mad, but like that.
Listen, man, shit. You done yawned three times now.
My apologies,
let's close it off. What you want to close off with?
I gotta find a good one, man. I felt like I had something that was we might both enjoy. Hold on. The bus driver, homie. Did we talk about this bus driver? No. Yo, this bus driver kept telling the kids to sit down. And, you're not supposed to be standing while the bus is moving and shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the kids are all just being rambunctious and being kids. And he kept telling them, like, you guys got to sit down. It's not safe for you guys to be doing this. And the kids they just wouldn't fucking listen. He brake checked the shit out of all the kids.
Oh.
And a bunch of them got hurt. So now he got fired, obviously. And he's facing jail time.
Yeah?
He's facing child abuse charges because he purposely slammed on his brakes and some of the kids got hurt.
Now, who's to say that he purposely slammed on that? I'm sure he did.
No, there was a video. There's a whole video of the whole exchange. He definitely did that shit on purpose. He was sick of these little fucking
Dude, but if you're him, couldn't you be like, yo, fucking screw around in front of me?
But I also think it doesn't come off, and I know this is gonna sound wild, and maybe because my kid's not on the bus, it doesn't come off mean spirited. I don't know. To me, when I watch that, there is something to the whole. You know how old heads give you advice, and they have a really shitty way of giving you advice, or like you're gonna learn a lesson the hard way. You know, like the smack upside your head, like come on, bro, like you gotta be smart and that kind of thing. Like I feel like there's that in this. It's like it's an asshole move, but it's like I gotta do this because you motherfuckers can understand. In a real scenario, y'all have been out this window, kind of thing. Like
right.
Yeah.
Nobody died.
No.
I mean, anybody break a bone?
They got a cool ass story to tell. There's a video online. It went viral. Like, come on, man. Let this man live, bro.
Dude, the whole age of social media and everybody has a freaking video camera in their pocket.
It's all the fun.
Yeah, I feel like because like I don't know, man. Like it's one of those things where you go like that's a dope. It's dope that I can watch the video. But how cool is that story that you tell somebody in 20 years?
Oh, yeah, bro.
Right?
Oh,
like
one time I was driving.
They brake checked us.
Oh, my God. He brake checked us. He was fuming. And then you're just like, bro, how dope. Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't feel like he should have gotten that.
I flew up like 4 rows.
Yeah.
It was really one.
Flipped over the thing, sprained my ankle. Damn, I was sucking at dodgeball for a week, but it was worth it. Oh, man. Yeah, we're soft now. It's no fun. But,
dude, I don't know if you want to get in. You want to get into sports, or we gonna kill this?
We're right at an hour.
Yeah.
What you want to get into sports? You got.
I just wanted to talk real quick about the NFL draft, and particularly Will Levis.
Okay.
So first of all, NFL draft happened this past week. For the first time ever, 3 black quarterbacks were taken like first.
Dude, and first
10.
10, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, first 10.
It was early.
So the first 2 weren't really a surprise, but the next guy that was kind of up was Will Levis, who was a white quarterback from Kentucky.
Who people thought was going to be number 1 at some point. Yeah.
Yes, there was talk about him moving up, right?
Yeah.
And instead, Anthony Richardson was chosen in that top 10 by Indianapolis.
That surprised me.
2 guys, so both Anthony Richardson and Will Levis, same conference. But Will Levis has better stats, more wins.
And Indy likes pasty white boys. So it's just shocking the whole way around. It just didn't make no sense.
Like you just knew this was going to be their guy.
Yeah, you're like, oh, there, yeah. He even has a name that's very Indianapolis. Will Levis. I'm like, that's so Indy.
Yeah, they fucked it up. But so the other piece of this was that so ESPN, because all of the experts kind of had this guy going like it was like 92% he was going to go in the top 10.
Yeah.
They showed him with his, I guess his girlfriend and his mom or whatever.
Yeah.
37 times. And so you kept seeing like his expression. You can see like the disappointment. He was frustrated, right? And then like his mom and his girlfriend are leaning over and giving him hugs. And I mean,
let's be real. We know why they kept showing him on camera.
He's dating some like influencer, right?
Is she?
I think.
I probably. Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, like, and so I couldn't. I kind of felt bad for him because I was like, "Fuck, man! Like, stop showing the guy." Because
I didn't like.
If you've been hyped up, and then every pick that goes by is like they don't choose you. So he doesn't get chosen for the entire first round. Second round, he gets picked up by Tennessee, which is your team. Mm-hmm. How did you like that pickup?
So I like it in where it happened, like second, third, fourth, whatever later. I don't know that I would have liked it if it was in the first or like top 10. I think Tennessee had the 11th pick and all that. I don't know that I would have liked it then. I can see why he sort of fell. So it's funny, like them cutting to him and cutting to disappointment, while like one side of me felt bad because of the, like the kid who's sitting there, you don't have to keep, sort of broadcasting his, like probably a pretty tough night, something that I'm sure he had like high hopes going in. And now suddenly it's sort of, I don't want to say it turns into a nightmare because listen, he still got into the NFL and all that, but it certainly doesn't play out the way he wanted it to or he thought it was going to. Mm-hmm. And the way every expert, quote unquote, thought it was going to play out. I don't like he's one of these like selfie taking dudes. You know, I have a thing about dudes that take selfies.
And I think that's what I listened to the Herd, and he was saying that. He was just like, and not only is he like the selfie dude, he's also like a pretty jacked quarterback.
Yeah, and those guys don't do well either.
Right, and typically those guys don't do well.
Brady Quinn,
they
they don't do well, man.
Yep.
Yeah. The selfie shit bothered me more, and I give people shit for this in real life all the time. It's like something about a guy who takes a selfie is just super fucking off-putting. Like, I understand the like occasional one of the like, you know, you might send to somebody like, oh, check this out or whatever. But like, you know, like we don't know those dudes that post
or like, look where I'm at.
Right.
It's usually those. It'd be like, yo, look where I'm at, or like, look who I'm with.
But if you post a selfie on social media with a caption, and then you try to put in you try to hit me with a Bible verse or some fucking like some motivational like quote thing or whatever, like, you know, reach for the stars today or whatever, and you're sitting there shirtless as a dude, I'm like, I'm out, bro. Like, no, I can't. So I feel like as a guy in a sport that's so violent and you need to be a leader of men, like, I'm like, that was off-putting. Now listen, he may be able to overcome that, and I think he's talented enough. It's just one of those
He'll
things.
He'll get a chance to play too, man.
Yeah, he will.
Tannehill's going to get hurt at some point.
Tannehill to get hurt. Yeah, and Tannehill had been great for us injury-wise up until this last season. But, you know, knowing the history of Tannehill before Tennessee, he was always hurt. And, you know, there's a worry here that maybe this is this will just spark the thing. But it's also his last year in the contract. So you got to figure out at some point what he can do, what this kid can do. And the kid they drafted last year, Malik Willis, the third round.
And he wasn't.
Who was also projected to be a number one pick at one point in time last year. Or not number one, first round, sorry.
He was out of Liberty, right?
Yeah. Again, like, you're not going to get a life-changing quarterback out of Liberty. Like, but
would you have rather taken the dude from Tennessee?
No. Because I've seen that kid play
I thought that might have been, he got hurt.
Talk about Hooker.
Yes.
Hendon Hooker.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought he, fine for college. There's something about watching his game that doesn't translate NFL wise to me. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't think any of the two top. Like, I don't think CJ Stroud is an NFL quarterback. I think the kid from Alabama has the best chance to be.
Dude, he's small, bro.
But he's little. I was gonna say, but he's little. So, and again, like,
but you know
Drew
what,
Brees
man?
and Russell Wilson are the anomalies, man. Like,
right. But I wonder now with how they protect quarterbacks. Maybe it's different.
Yeah, maybe. But you see, Kyler Murray like can't stay healthy. You see, like, it's just tough, man. It's too physical of a game. So, like, you can't be 5'10" and a quarterback in the NFL, man.
And he's like 5'10", 180.
Yeah, and more than that, dude. Like, I go, okay, let's say you don't get hit. To your point, you protect them, you do all this stuff. You still have to take like not to get too technical, like a 10 to 15 step drop so that you can see over your offensive lineman.
Oh,
just
yeah,
so that
that's
you
true.
can make a good pass,
right?
And then your balls don't get batted down, and then, like, I feel like it's not just about like the physical sort of being imposing. It's like, no, literally, you can't see over your teammates.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because these guys are all 6'7" and weigh 350. It's like there's just something like, and from a technical perspective, like, it's just not easy to pull off. Yeah. So what you end up seeing with a lot of guys like Russell Wilson, where they're like, oh, he's a scrambler, you have to. He can't see over his guys, so it's like. Yeah, I just think those guys are far and few. I hope they do well, but it's something about him and CJ Stroud, and it's funny. I thought out of the bunch, Will Levis probably had the most upside that I thought would do well, and I think the kid from Alabama, I'm like, he in the right place, he'd do okay. I don't trust Carolina enough to develop anybody. I don't trust. Where did the kid from Alabama go? He went.
But man, remember they got Frank Wright.
Yeah,
who was a quarterback as well, right?
Yeah. No, and he's good at, he did wonders with he had
wasn't it Andrew Luck?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see, man. I hope they get it. But yeah, the Will Levis thing, man. I guess I'm kind of indifferent. I think where they got him, I'm like, cool, it's worth a shot. Like, yep. But I hope he works out, obviously, because I want the team to win. But he's gonna have to prove something, man. Because I'm going into this with this perception of him that he's just like, I'm like, yeah, you're not a leader, man, and you're gonna be like, you're just like a guy who kind of takes selfies and whatever. And I hope that I'm just being an asshole. So
You can only go by what you've seen.
Exactly, yeah. But and I didn't like, and I will tell you now, I didn't like his demeanor. While I understand it, I didn't like his demeanor about when they asked him about going to the draft, where he goes like, well, if they tell me I'm going to be a first round pick, then I'll go, but I'm not going there to just fucking sit around and da-da-da-da. And I get...
Oh, he said that?
Yeah, and I get the competitive nature. I didn't like the arrogance that he came off with and said that with, because I'm like, again, bro, you're like, I understand after it happened, I can see him going, see, that's what I didn't want, is the embarrassment of sitting there and you're telling me I'm going to go, you're telling me I'm going to go, and then you keep cutting to me and showing me like fucking struggling, and I'm probably trying to keep it together. So I do get it. But when he said it pre that
it just
whole
sounds
thing,
arrogant.
It sounded arrogant. He sounded like an asshole. He sounded ungrateful, entitled, and all that. And I didn't like that.
And not for nothing, because I was just like, you know what? I can understand why he would be frustrated or upset. But then in the other respect, you go, yo, knowing that you're gonna get drafted, like, I don't think there was a question in his mind if he would get drafted. He just thought he was going higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that you get drafted at all is an honor, man. Like, most guys that play in the NFL are not drafted.
And Tennessee moved up to pick him up there. You know, they gave up some picks and all that stuff to get him.
Yeah.
So they obviously felt strongly enough, like, shit, this kid fell here. We can't believe it. Let's drop down to get him. But I think going into it, it's funny. I was actually sort of rooting against him after the comments. I was kind of like, fucker, I hope you don't get picked up. And then Tennessee picks him up, and it becomes the whole, like, you know, like if Jordan joined the Knicks in the 90s, where you'd have been like, I hate them. Oh, God, I love them. He kind of turned into that, where I was like, I hope you fucking fall down the draft. And then Tennessee picked him up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I hope this kid does well.
Dude, remember that year that Zion and RJ Barrett came out?
Yeah.
And the Knicks were hoping to get the number 1 pick, and they didn't. The Pelicans got it, and the Knicks got the 3rd pick. Who won that?
Dude, the Knicks.
Right?
Dude, the Knicks won that by a long shot.
By a long shot. Yeah. Like, I don't know if this dude's gonna play again. I mean, I'm sure he will play again, but it seems like even his mindset is not right.
Yeah, his mindset physically can't. Yeah, like you go, even if he does play again, like you're getting more production out of RJ Barrett than Zion's ever put out ever, and you're getting more consistency. You're getting, you're actually getting an employee that shows up for work.
Right.
Like, so it's like, yeah. The Knicks won that, and it's funny. It said they were like livid when they.
Oh my God!
Like, it was like, because their odds of getting that were like super high that year, right?
Yeah.
Of getting whatever.
It was really high, and that was the same year that John Morant came out, because it was.
Oh,
right?
I think you're right.
It was because it was Memphis that had the 2nd pick, and then New York had the 3rd.
Because it's right, because it went Zion. You know, and honestly, looking back, because the lottery picks lately have been kind of trash. I couldn't name you a lot of classes other than that one that have been like making an impact in the NBA right now. Like, there's not a lot of Remember, lottery picks before used to be like, holy shit. Like, there was a year where lottery pick was like Kobe, AI, Kevin Garnett, you know, like Stephon Marbury. Like, all these guys were all like in this same class, like Stevie Francis, like all. And then now you're like, okay, RJ Barrett and, you know, Zion and Ja could. I mean, between the 3 of them, they could end up being like, damn, that's a pretty good class.
Yeah, it would be if this guy ends up playing.
But but I remember at one point in time when you used to get those classes, man, it was like, yo, you got anything in the top 5, you were getting a transcendent talent. You know, it's dude. Go back and look at the picture. I think it's a draft class where like Dirk Nowitzki and all these guys come out. Dude, you look at the Hall of Famers in that draft class. Oh my God, dude, it's so crazy. Like, there's like almost like a group photo of all the draft class, and you just see, dude, think about the one where LeBron came out. It's like LeBron, Carmelo, D Wade,
D Wade was in the same class.
Lewis, I think D Wade came out with LeBron.
So hold on, so then,
look, I'm gonna put, because the class is ridiculous.
I thought Dwayne. I thought he was older, man.
He is, but he played college long.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Right. He was at Adam Marquette.
Yeah. So he actually did like a.
Because remember, he got drafted by Miami, and then like Shaq came after.
Yes, Shaq went to Phoenix, and then came to. He went L.A., Phoenix to Miami, didn't he?
No, he went L.A., Miami.
Oh, Phoenix. And then Phoenix. Okay.
Phoenix. He was definitely on the downside.
Dude, it was Josh Howard, Jose Calderon, Darko Milicic, which at that time was a lot of promise. LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Kaman, Chris Bosh,
LeBron got picked
Wade.
4th?
No. LeBron was first in that draft, and then Carmelo was second. So if we go in order, it was LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Kaman, which that's crazy, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Kirk Heinrich, T.J. Ford,
Bro,
like
and
David West.
the three of them end up teaming up.
Yeah,
Those
and those top three end up being
not top three.
Takeout came in, but yeah, the three of the top four end up. Actually, no, sorry.
No, it's like three of the top six.
Yeah, three of the top
right?
six because Carmelo's in there. Yeah, but dude, that draft class is crazy. Hold on, but there's another one that I think it's the Dirk one. Might be the one with Kobe and I'm just gonna put Kobe's draft class because it is. I remember seeing this photo, going, that is bananas. The 1996. I mean, dude, Kobe was 13 in that draft.
Wow.
13, and then he got traded. Remember, he got drafted by the Hornets, and then they traded him.
That's right,
dude. It was,
and not for nothing, man. Like back then, so like when LeBron came out, LeBron's high school games were being televised. Like this dude was in the media. Where Kobe, you knew of him, but like I don't think I've ever, other than I want to say it was in like the McDonald's All-American, like the skills, like the dunk contest.
Yeah,
that's where I first saw Kobe.
Dude, yeah, I think same thing.
I think that was like the first time
it was like that Laura Marion high school.
But I didn't know like how well he played. Obviously, he's super athletic.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that's around the time that I saw him too, and then I didn't realize the hype. That year, to me, the hype was around Allen Iverson. He was like a really, because this is before the NBA was like embracing
hip hop the same
culture.
Year?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, and I think, growing up in New Jersey, and Iverson came out of like Virginia, the Iverson was sort of more of a representative, I think, of that sort of Northeast culture, of the hip hop culture.
Yes.
Remember Iverson?
Absolutely, bro.
The dress code, the tattoos. You didn't see that in the NBA pre-Iverson. Like everybody has tattoos now.
And if you go look at the Sports Illustrated from that time, they would airbrush out his tattoos.
Oh, really?
To be if he was on the cover.
That's crazy,
dude.
And think about now how you can't name players that don't have tattoos.
Correct.
Now, basically, like, and at that time, it was so accepted. But dude, look at this class, and more importantly, bro, I'm just gonna go 10 through 20 because it's just nuts how crazy. Actually, I was just gonna start at Kobe at 13. After Kobe is Peja Stojakovic, who had a great career.
Yep.
Steve Nash, who was 15, Hall of Famer. Tony Duck, Jermaine O'Neal, who may or may not be in the Hall of Fame. Ilgauskas was in number 20 that year, but Derek Fisher is 24. That you were getting just like all-time players, and then now if I go to the top 10, bro, this draft class is banana. Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Stephon Marbury, Ray Allen, Antoine Walker, Kerry Kittles, Lorenzen Wright, Samaki Walker, who I think Samaki wound up being a bust. Lorenzen Wright. Like I think same thing, but Kerry Kittles was awesome for New Jersey for a while. I remember Antoine Walker.
Dude, are there? I mean, out of all those names you read, are there 10 Hall of Famers in there?
Yeah, dude.
I want to say like
in the top 20,
right?
there has to be 10 Hall of Famers. Yeah, because you go Iverson's a Hall of Famer, Marcus Camby, I guess debatable.
Yeah,
but
probably not.
Stephon Marbury, I think, is a basketball Hall of Famer for sure because of his time in China.
But then Stephon Marbury and Camby, they both got drafted by New York?
They both got the Raptors. Remember, Marbury got drafted by the Bucks. He didn't go to New York till way later.
That's right.
Then he got traded. He got drafted by the Bucks. But he got traded to Minnesota, and then remember him and Kevin Garnett.
That's right.
And then Ray Allen got picked up by. So Ray Allen was the one that got traded for Stephon Marbury. So dude, that class is bananas. I'm like, it's so crazy. And then I think a class right before or after that is the one where you get like Dirk Nowitzki, and you get Kevin Garnett, you get what was in that era that was like there was like another like 10 players that you're like fucking Hall of Famers. Like you're like, how is this even possible? I think like Alonzo Mourning knows earlier 90s. Maybe, but you just get like this slew of.
He was definitely early.
Yeah, because he was part of that like mid 90s, maybe like.
Because there wasn't like it wasn't. It was him and who's the other dude on? Who am I thinking about? Because that was a Heat team. Alonzo Mourning.
Yes, yeah. That was a Heat team that had like Dan Marley, right, and all those guys on there.
I don't remember, man.
It's like, but Mourning was on those title teams, wasn't he? He was on the title team with the first one with Shaq and Dwayne. I think Mourning was still on those teams.
Really?
I think so. Like he wasn't like a productive member of those teams, but I think he was. But he was teams,
right.
He was kind of like what Haslam is doing now. You know what I mean? Like I think he was that guy for them. But yeah, man, fuck, dude, the talent in that draft, it always blows my mind when you see that. And the NBA doesn't get, like the lottery, like the draft picks don't matter anymore in that. Like you're hoping for like one transcendent talent in that thing, and you just don't get this like ridiculous. So I feel like that Ja Morant Zion is probably the last class and the first class in the last decade that you get that level of talent.
That you get the right, that you can remember. It's super memorable.
Yeah.
All right, man. Before we go, I just got one thing to share because this shit, I saw it either I think it was today, as a matter of fact. And it was something that just like hit me, and I go, I need to share. So let me get the volume up on this.
You work 6 days to enjoy 1. You work 8 hours to eat in 15 minutes. You work 8 hours to sleep 5. You work all year just to take a week or 2 vacation. You work all your life to retire in old age and contemplate only your last breaths. Eventually, you realize that life is nothing but a parody of yourself practicing for your own oblivion. We have become so accustomed to material and social slavery that we no longer see the chains. Life is a short journey. Live it. Collect memories, not material things.
Shit. Now I'm all sad and shit.
Dude. It hit me because I was just like, yo, that is, and we used to have this thing on our wall at home where it was like, we don't remember days, we remember moments. And this shit reminded me where he was like, collect memories. So get out there, like, we all busy. Everybody's always busy. Get out there with your friends, your family, create those memories, those moments, and collect that shit.
Yeah, and listen to us every week.
Goddamn right. And on that, I guess, tell them where they can find us. I'm like, wait, I got stuck.
There's a line there. At the Carbon Football Podcast on IG, the Carbon Football Podcast on YouTube, at Carbon FB Pod on Twitter, Carbon Football Podcast on TikTok, and then all your favorite streaming platforms. We're on Audible, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podchaser, Geo7, Ghana, Pocket Casts, all of them, man. Just if it exists, we're on it. Let's go. Let's go.
And as always, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.